What's going on, Jeromes? Beautiful Thursday, beautiful day for some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. First up, Eric. Yeah. I'm really enamored with RJ Harvey in this offense. We have an all-around back in Jones, a power back in Mason, a pure speed back in Harvey. Will be just another element for defenses to consider in our run game. Plus, sets up for life after Jones, which could be sooner than we think. What do you think? I love RJ Harvey because in terms of the one cut and go slasher type runner, Harvey has done that back-to-back seasons with the UCF. Originally, he was at Virginia and then transferred out. But I do think that if you're going to pick this year's Bucky Irving type running back, RJ Harvey is that guy. And last year, 1,577 yards rushing, 6.8 yards per carry, 22 touchdowns, has a nose for the end zone as well. He really was the UCF offense, and he's sort of a paint-by-numbers receiver. You're not going to be turning any heads there, but I think that he can develop into a three-down skill set. I think RJ Harvey is going to be really good. And frankly, if he wasn't in this deep-ass running back class, I think that there would be a lot more hype about him. So Harvey's going to be good. Next. Voltrue. In regards to our depth, is the time to look for a linebacker again with Cashman and Pace needing and earning big contracts in 2 years? Is it too early to draft and develop now? No. I think the Vikings, because Pace Jr. is eligible for an extension after the season. Cashman is heading to year 2 of his deal. He did bring back Eric Wilson, basically as a one-for-one swap for Kamagurje Hill. Max Tooley is on a futures contract. Osama's in the final year of his deal, probably going to be gone. So the Vikings, should and could look to replenish their off-ball linebacking room. And this is an interesting class because you do have guys like Jay Higgins from Iowa, Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma, the All-American is someone that I love, Shamar Jones, as well as Kobe King from Penn State, Lindenberg from the Gophers. So there's going to be a fistful of off-ball linebackers that are going to add value in the mid-rounds where the Vikings are drafting, as I just get excited. I think that the Vikings could and should be looking to add there. Plus, a lot of hype is given to Battelis and the safeties and all the hybridness in the secondary, as well as Grenard and Van Ginkel up front on the edge. But it really is off-ball linebacker, which is the spine of this defense. And you saw what happened in the regular season. Games that Cashman missed. Vikings probably beat the Lions and the Rams the first 2 times they played if Cashman was healthy, if he didn't have that toe. And Pace Jr. Really is the straw that stirs the drink in this defense as well. So, I think the Vikings should and could be looking to add off-ball, even potentially in free agency after the draft. Next. Todd Haysbrook, OG Jerome. Who are the top 5 players on the Vikings right now in terms of value? So in terms of dollar for dollar, McCarthy has to be 1-1. You have a starting quarterback on his rookie deal, $5 million cap hit this year. That starts there. Addison is on his rookie deal, is a very solid and capable wide receiver too, even with the suspension looming over his head. You look at Pace Jr., the aforementioned Pace Jr., who's just been a monster on a UDFA contract. Actually, no. Yeah, he's eligible for an extension. He has an RFA season coming up next year. So he'll get a little bit of cash either way, which is good. As well as you look at AVG on his $10 million deal, Metellus on his $4 million a year deal. Those are absolute stunning values of what they mean to the defense, as well as, as weird as it sounds, Jefferson, who was just recently the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, has been leapfrogged several times, but that's how valuable he is to this franchise, not only on the field, not only to the gravity that he has from defenders, to off-the-field marketing. Like, Justin Jefferson is that valuable to this team and this franchise, even though he is on an absolute premium contract. It's usually how it goes. Next. Hunter Bell, it's a tough topic, but the playoff reseeding needs to be discussed as brought up by the Lions. The Rams have been on the road against the Eagles. Now, I think, even though obviously it sort of sucked for the Vikings, 14-win wild card, winning your division has to be priority number 1. Because if they had realigned it based on record, the Vikings would have been 3rd. But say they would have been 2nd. Say they would have had the 2nd seed locked up. And the Vikings and Lions, they rest their starters week 18. I don't think the NFL wants that, because winning your division needs to matter, because there's a reason why they have division games the last week of the season, because they want that drama, because winning the division matters. And you could be like, well, if you win your division, you make the playoffs. You could have long stretches of years, even decades, where whole divisions are irrelevant. You could look at the AFC South and do that, where Does it suck when you have a 14-win wild card? Yes. How many times has that happened in NFL history? None, except for last year, right? So I think that last year really was an anomaly, and you do have to incentivize just going for it, right? Plus, I don't know, that just makes the race for winning a very competitive division that much more compelling, because then it's like, hey, we need to win our division. We need to get that home playoff game. We need to have that 1 seed or high seed. Otherwise, we're going to be on the road. And that does spur on competition down the end of the season. And I think overall it is important, because also when the shoe's on the other foot, like, hey, if your division is down and you win the division at 9-8 or 10-7, I don't want to hear 1 ounce of bitching that you have to be on the road against a team that ended up third in their division, even though obviously you would hear that. So I think like last year was a one-off anomaly, and divisions do need to matter. Otherwise, just get rid of divisions, go full NBA. Now, you could make an argument for, okay, after the wild card round, in the divisional round, then go by absolute record in terms of seeding, in terms of home games. Could be open for that that conversation. But in terms of the first round, if you win their division, you get a home game, and that's what should stay. All right. Lastly, King Crosshair. Who do we take at 24? Will Johnson, Walter Nolan, Tyler Booker, and Nick Emenwari are all there. Will Johnson. Where I feel like draft pundits have cooled a little bit on Will Johnson. Initially he was seen as a surefire top 10 pick. I feel like he's been sliding a little bit, but I mean, if Will Johnson makes it to the teens, I think the Vikings should consider moving for him. That's how good Will Johnson is. And yeah, the foot injury, could put him behind the 8 ball in terms of some draft rooms, but Will Johnson is a true blue Surtain, J.C. Horn type corner. I mean, he's 6'2", he's lengthy, he's got these ball skills, and he's adept in press, man, or zone, and he's a complete cornerback, and I think that he has a chance to be an elite cornerback in the National Football League level. So as much as I love Walter Nolan, Tyler Booker, and Nick Emenwari, and they are certainly on my list of, if they're there at 24, just take them, Will Johnson is elite. Will Johnson would take this defense up to the next level, because Will Johnson, Murph, Rogers, Blackman, McLaughlin, and Okudah. Come on, baby. Come on. Anyways, that's it. Q&A for this beautiful day. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.